heard on the news must have been about late February, early March 2012. We carried on as usual, really. No one paid that much attention to it. We were faced with a wave of refugees. We didn't have the infrastructure, the manpower, the space, or the time to create something that was suitable to deal with all these desperate, starving people. We heard as much as everyone else did. We heard it was something called African rabies coming out of China. Obviously, with the territory, we didn't hear much for a while. But once it got into the Southeast Asian countries, places like India, people started to take note of what it was, but no one was really panicked by it. We assumed it'd be another one of these swine flu things that was just hyped up beyond what it was. We learnt more as time went on, but I don't think we ever knew enough. When it first came out of China and the Southeast Asian countries, we heard bits. With the name, people assumed it was just your standard rabies, you know. More reports came out of kind of reanimation, they were calling it. And people were coming out with theories that it was some kind of temporary paralysis, allowed the body to carry on functioning while sustaining mass injury. As soon as reports came in of how bad things were getting in the Western European countries, I think when it got to places like Croatia, all flights were cancelled in and out of the country. I don't think it was adequate or well enough equipped at the time, but there was a screening process before people came into the camps. And to start with, that dealt with it. But as the numbers increased, as the infection got close to the north of France, people coming across from places like Normandy, they were panicked. There was increasing amounts, large amounts of the people were infected. The film crew were brought in to, Portsdown was highlighted as one of the bigger camps. We had over 2,000 refugees. They were brought in to show what we were doing at the camp and how we were dealing with the refugees, because word had got out that conditions weren't as they should have been. And public support had weaned in the favour of the forces, and they weren't happy with the way we were dealing with the situation. So the crew was brought in to look around, show that we were doing the best we could do, and that was all we could ask. You know, we were ill-prepared, we were understaffed, and we didn't know what it was we were fighting against.
You do a better job.
What?
Yeah.
I'm just listening, actually.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
What's the facility like?
It's not great, truth be told. It's better than your dive, but it's not great. But we make do. All the refugee camps were based in existing premises. This is an old Napoleonic fort. They updated it in World War II, but we're crammed in here. There's over 2,000 refugees based here, and
it started out as any other day, really. We were up at 6:30 a.m. as was. Take off the night shift. We're out on patrol till about 8:15. Came back for rations. 8:30, Corporal came in. He was telling us some disturbance below. It was fairly routine at the time, so we got a squad together. Me, Alex, Joe, a lot. We all took off, fairly relaxed. It was just a very routine thing, going down there, calming down disturbance, looking menacing. It was what you did to just calm things down.
Ready to check. All right, folks.
yeah. So we're just on our way to the administration office. Reports of a disturbance, probably nothing. Someone trying to get themselves an extra ration. I don't know. In terms of the camp, we've got the parade ground up there. There's a couple of tents, some extra living space for the refugees, but this is the administration office here. We probably won't be any more than 10-15 minutes. Small thing.
But no, we strolled in very quickly once we got into the administration office above the stairs. It's normally a place that's quite busy. Refugees asking for more rations, when they're going to be allowed out. It's always, and it was silent. There wasn't a person in there. All the desks were unmanned.
Come on, boys. For fucking Christ's sake. Where is everyone?
So we progressed downstairs. Again, not expecting much, but again, as we got down, you couldn't help but notice the fact that it's the first time I'd been down those stairs and been able to hear my own footsteps. So everyone was on edge. I was raising the point that I felt it wasn't quite safe. So as we moved on, Alex and Terry were positioned at the base of the hub. They were told to safeguard the exit, and we progressed on down the hall. It became quite clear that something wasn't right. There was evidence of a struggle. Lights were broken, power was irregular. We started to see traces of blood. Not a lot, but there was traces. And the deeper we got, there was more blood. There had clearly been a huge fight, for want of a better word. And we got further down. We came across the first body. And this body was in the most contorted position. I've seen dead bodies before, but not like this. It was as if the flesh had been ripped from the bone, and the limbs were in positions they shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
But we continued down. John was urging us forward. We got in a tight formation, moved down the corridor, and we came across another what I thought was a body on the floor.
You okay?
And we saw some movement.
Stand still! Sir, I said stand still!
Just slowly stood up with its back to us and turned, and it was outright scary.
Get out, back! Get back now! Go, 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 go!
Trouble! Trouble!
Hostile, move back now! Go! Trouble! Move! Move! Multiple hostiles, move back now! Go, 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 go! Come on, go, 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 go! Get out now!
To the end! Trouble! Go out that door!
Go out that door!
Trouble!
Move now!
Go! Trouble! To the end!
Go, go, go! Get the doors! Move!
By the time we'd got back, we built a bit of a gap ahead of the infected. By the time we got back, we found Alex and Terry there, and Terry it was clear he was dead. And Alex had lost a lot of blood. He looked white in the face, and he started apologizing.
Go! Hot turns, Chinwe! They killed Pressure on!
John was insistent we were going to defend this position. You know, we weren't going to fall back, and it was very clear we were going to get overrun very, very quickly. There was just swarm. You know, if you shot one and it fell down, another one came up or it got up again. You know, we weren't sure how to kill these things, if we could kill these things. And so, you know, I was urging everyone to come back up the stairs. You know, people were getting hurt, falling down. I didn't know what was happening. It was very much, you know, you looked in front of you, dealt what was in front of you. You couldn't know what was going around. I was backing up the stairs. I don't know, I got to the top. John was hurt. I didn't know where the camera crew was. I didn't know where the rest of the squad was. I turned and I ran. I ran as fast as I've ever run before. This is my problem to deal with. You know, everyone else around this country has their story like mine. There is no glory in me sat here in front of a camera. I did my job and I ran.